got a lot of drama going on in the right wing circus.
Instead of coming together like we should, we're over here infighting.
I don't agree with that sentiment because I hear a lot of people saying that. I think this has to happen.
Okay.
This has to happen in order for us to make any kind of change.
To weed out the rest.
It's not even a weeding out process. It's more of a exposing thing, and then also sort of to there has to be infighting. We can't pretend everything, because look where we're at now, where we thought we were all, kumbaya, and in actuality, the people who should be out there protecting smaller talents and out there actually talking the talk aren't walking the walk. And in my opinion, except for one guy, which is Steven Crowder, who decided to just say, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm going to just expose it.
And blow the lid off. Now, we'll get to some things later. I said to you off air that Steven doesn't have a halo over his head. There's some things that, we could kind of scrutinize there.
Okay.
But, I guess we could start with this Candace Owens thing, because this is the newest thing that happened.
So Candy spoke up.
Candy spoke up. And she had a...
Candy.
I thought I didn't like her reaction to any of this.
I didn't like her tone. What the fuck?
Literally, the only thing that Steven can do after this is punch her in the mouth, and then they're even. That's how far she went.
I don't think he should react like that.
I don't think he should have. Obviously not. But
that's the only thing that can top that.
That's all he could do.
Nah.
But I'm just saying that's how far she went in terms of the word she was using. She got way too personal.
She belittled him.
Yeah. All right, we'll start here.
He should be paid. That does ad reads. Obviously, it's not going to be Fox News. It's not going to be PragerU, their 501c3, or Turning Point USA. And he mentioned explicitly that it wasn't the Blaze. So to me, it was sort of like he said, the Schmaley Schmeier, but I'm not naming any names. And I'm going to tell you two things that I thought. First and foremost, to give something a name like the Big Con, obviously, it was mudslinging. And if this was the Daily Wire, which I wasn't entirely sure that it was, but as I said, it was heavily implied, then he also threw mud on me. He threw mud on Matt Walsh. He threw mud on Michael Knowles.
By the way, we realized this too, that this seemed to be pre-taped, or it was not. This was put out before Steven made his response. We'll get to Candace on Tim Pool responding to Steven's new response. So
threw mud on every single person. Brett Cooper that works for
I almost want to get the drop from the mixtapes. The invasion.
Wire.
Holy shit, son! Where'd you find this?
Yeah. Gangsta Grills, you bastards.
That we are signing these contracts, and he is heroic for not signing it, and pulling out excerpts of the contract to say basically we're beholden to big tech, right? And I don't like that. If you want to rev up your engine and fire up your big truck, don't get mud on my car, right? That's my thing. If you want to go to war, keep me out of it. At least say this was a contract that was offered to me. He kind of makes this plea. And again, people were just on board with it. But I will also be honest.
Now let me pause her there.
She even goes, don't rev up your big engines. That's alluding to the big figure in his contract that she will never see.
Well, let's go line by line here. She's lying. She's blatantly lying, or she. Oh well, actually no, I'm wrong on this because she didn't see. She didn't see the video. Yet. I'm getting my timelines wrong.
Yeah, she didn't see the video.
But yeah, Steven, just so people know that she was wrong then about her assumption that Steven didn't do that. He actually went on his response and credited everybody on the Daily Wire, individually. So to me, it almost came off like he was kind of saying, my problem's not with you guys, because he was saying Andrew Klavan, he's a genius. Ben Shapiro, he's a genius.
It's not the people, it's the company.
I think it's boring. I think it's Jeremy Boring that he has the problem with, and he's basically going after the company itself because it's Jeremy Boring's company. So now Candace Owens is falsely assuming that means he's going after everybody, and he specifically said no, that's not what it is. But yeah, we're gonna get to. Let me skip
now before you do that, as somebody who works for a company, do you think that that's your fight if it makes your company look bad? You know what I mean? Is that something that you should stand up for? Or is that's company business? Let me just keep doing my show and not even mention it. Does a part of you have to mention it? You know what I mean?
Look, I talked about it where like Crowder's whole thing, which I agree with, is that if you sign Crowder, then you're almost. I remember I compared it to the 50 Cent Eminem thing. You sign 50 Cent, you're inheriting his beefs. Like you have to almost accept that. In even your contract, you have to take that into consideration.
100%.
So for me to turn around and say that she's wrong for what she's doing in that sense, no, she's being a good soldier. But the stance she's making, I think, is based on false. It's based on false ideas
and feelings,
or something that she doesn't know, that she thinks she's in the know. But we'll get to it. Let's continue.
Poorly behind the scenes because it matters to me. It's always mattered to me. Okay, you can speak to any organization that's ever worked with me. I have a very good reputation. I maintain friendships with everybody. I do. I don't personally know Steven Crowder. To be honest, the first time I ever had any correspondence with him, he was a bit of a dick to me. You can bleep that out, whatever. But he offered me online to come on the show.
Spicy.
I said yes. And an hour later, he lied and said that I canceled, and I never did. And then he corrected it and said, oh, we got confused. And I just thought that's pretty crappy that you publicly tweeted. At the time, I think he had more followers than me, that I canceled on your show, and I never did. But anyways, I never...
Than me.
Might have been person.
Yeah, it's like it's getting into this gossipy kind of territory. That's like
person. And
why is everybody so mean to me?
That's what it's coming off as. Trump was mean to her in some random encounter.
He's a dick.
Now Steven's a dick all of a sudden. But then she's also pretending that she's heartbroken that she was backstabbed by a friend that she doesn't even know and thinks is a dick.
And thinks
kind
is
of
a
doesn't
dick.
like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and secretly hasn't liked the whole time.
He's tremendously talented, and I laughed all the way through his Alexa Night coverage. So I didn't really have a horse in this race, and I wanted the Daily Wire to respond to it. I said, you have to respond to this. This makes us all look guilty. People are now thinking I signed a contract with this, like I sold my soul to the devil. This is the implication here. So Jeremy Boring, the co-CEO of Daily Wire, did in fact give a response, actually a thorough response, a 1-hour response last night, which I watched later than my bedtime, I would say. And he went through the contract.
Adults with bedtimes annoy me. What the fuck you mean you have a bedtime? I do what I want.
Well, that's that safe Daily Wire thing. Hey, they all have bedtimes. They don't curse. They don't fuck.
Keep it clean, baby. Keep it clean.
Offered Steven
Episcopalian?
Only missionary. That's part of the contract.
Through the clothes.
Alkalites?
Only fuck your wife missionary.
line by line. Again, it was an hour long, so I absolutely cannot play it right now. It would cover the entire show, but you should take the time and you should watch it because he adds clarity and he expands. He goes through the entire contract. There could not have been more transparency. He goes through the entire contract that was offered, and it allows people to actually discern what really went down. And what really went down, according to Jeremy, and I'm very interested to see what Steven's response is that Steven became a free agent. He left the Blaze. But Daily Wire offered him a contract, a huge contract, by the way, $50 million they offered him.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And by the way, that to Steven Crowder, that might actually be a lowball number. Because the whole thing,
remember, Jeremy said we offered him that. We knew he was going to come back with something big. We have to start low.
We have to start low.
Yeah, and see what they come back with.
Exactly. So it's purposely a lowball number. If we're talking just about the money, right? But not only that, we kind of brushed on this when we were just kind of spitballing the other night. Daily Wire Plus. That's what is the saving grace for Steven Crowder. And that's why he's different. And you don't just offer him some, like, even if you're going to go like, hey, we need a protection for getting suspended. You know what I mean? Or getting bans or losing that revenue. We need some kind of thing to say that. What saves that with Crowder is Daily Wire Plus. Is Crowder has Mug Club. And that's people who have paid memberships to his private fucking website. So the fact is that he's taking all of those subscribers theoretically, and I believe it's like 300,000 to 500,000. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot
for an independent motherfucker. WWE Network didn't even have that much for a long time.
Right. These are people who are paying. I think it's $69 annually if you're a vet, and like $100 if you're not. So,
right.
Yeah.
And the fact is that he has these people who he's going to bring over to Dailywire, where that is the saving grace for your revenue stream. You don't even give a fuck about revenue at that point.
Exactly.
It's about bringing people over to Dailywire Plus. Fuck big tech. Fuck YouTube. You're giving them too much power in your contracts.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
as simple as that.
Absolutely. I agree.
So I also have this theory that the 120 million was Steven Crowder maybe trolling them. Maybe going like, listen, you're not budging on this big tech thing, so tell my agent to tell them 120 million. Just to fuck with them.
I know they can't afford it. Just tell them.
Throw them a number that I know they can't afford.
Damn.
Let's just continue from here. We'll skip ahead.
$50 million.
She probably get 8.
I mean, look, she's getting money. She's just not gonna get Steven money. That's how it is.
And she already tried to proclaim that she has more followers than him now. So she should be getting some sort of...
Well, she's almost on this, like, I'm getting this vibe from her that she thinks she has as much drawing power as Steven Crowder.
I hope that's not
true.
I hope that's not what she thinks.
That's what she thinks.
I think it is what she thinks.
From that statement where she had to say that when you used to have more followers than me.
Right.
Stating that...
Yeah, but then she's counting the followers that don't count. You can have more followers than me on Twitter, but you're not getting paid from those followers. At least not what I'm getting paid from my independent business that I'm getting all the money from with all of these subscribers.
And you know, Candace Owens hit big on the mainstream level with the Kanye West connection and all that stuff. So she definitely probably has a bigger social media following. But if they have fucking Candy Club, how many people are really going to subscribe? Is she going to get Crowder numbers?
Candy Club. The only time she going to get them numbers if it's Candy Club OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry.
I just want to rip those sleeves off of her.
Jesus Christ, bro. She is a lady. She's class. Personified.
What's the point of them?
What's the point of what?
The sleeves.
It's the shimmer, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a shimmer. It's supposed to
the little sachet to it?
Yeah, it elicits feelings.
And faggot over here.
Feelings of remorse.
The what could have been.
Yeah, definitely.
We won't even talk unless you offer a big amount. But Dailywire came back and offered $50 million. And then Steven's agent wrote back that they wanted $120 million. So basically, you wanted $120 million over the span of 4 years, which, by the way, pretty unrelatable. Okay, this was last year.
Now, hold on. 120 million over a span of 4. That's what, 30 million a year?
I think so. Don't do math in public. So I'm not sure.
Right? Yeah. I think that's
around 30.
Yeah, 30 times 4 would be 120, right?
Yeah. We'll go with your answer.
Yeah.
You're the dropout, you know.
Now, you said how much is the Mug Club?
So I
because
believe
we can actually do like math to this
so
to a degree.
I believe the Mug Club is 99 if you're not a vet. If you're a vet, it's 69.
Let's just go with 99 just to make it a round.
All right, so we'll go with 99.
So 100 per year.
Per year, yeah, it's annually.
Okay, so that's Jesus. We're doing a lot of math here.
Hey, you're doing a lot of math. I'm sitting back on this.
What is that, like $8 roughly a month? Because I know it's not 10.
It couldn't be 10.
But it's probably a deal. So they probably do like about $8, $9 a month.
No, I think you
look it up.
I think you pay it up front though.
Yeah, but you can also do monthly, right?
I'm not sure. I didn't look into it.
I'm looking at Dailywires here. They're doing $8 a month.
Okay, so you probably bring it out, yeah.
And then you could do the annual. Wait. This is the all access. There's no annual.
Okay.
It's all monthly.
Well,
no, this is billed annually. I'm sorry. So $8 a month billed annually. So we're talking probably around the same amount of money, right? For the Mug Club.
It would have to be.
Yeah, so he's drawing
300 to 500,000 with that.
Right. So 120 might actually, and then we're not even counting revenue. We're not counting ads.
Not counting ads, not counting merch.
We're not counting merch. 120 might be a fair number.
It could be.
She just doesn't realize that.
But then again, okay, do we know exactly how much Steven Crowder generates?
No, I'm just guesstimating here.
Okay.
But
I do think that's important.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is I'm just trying to average it out here, but it could be far off. I could be way off. I'm just saying that just because is he on the phone?
I don't know, but you just like mistakenly branded him just now. Shit.
I'm just saying, maybe 120 over the span of 4 years, which we now know the term is 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
So that's interesting too. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But they're missing huge. She's missing huge aspects of this whole thing.
And she can't. And again, she can't get that draw. So why even bring it up? Like she can't do it. I'm sorry.
She's talking apples and oranges if she's comparing herself to Steven Crowder. That's all I'm saying.
She's like, if I can't do it, you can't do it.
That's what it comes off as.
And this isn't even dick riding Steven Crowder. If I didn't like the guy, I would still say the same thing. I think we're fair enough to do that. But
it's not about the numbers and why he turned down the contract, but we're looking at the numbers and just pure performance. You know, whether we liked him or not has nothing to do with it. He draws the numbers. She doesn't draw those numbers. That's numbers don't lie. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
And I'm also not sure if she's even aware of whether or not she's under a slave contract. Like she's defending something that I don't even know if she's aware of.
Is. Are you kidding me? There's definitely something in her contract that says if your YouTube goes down for a period of 90 days and we can't make that revenue up after 90 days, then we're cutting your shit. 50%.
If they were doing that to a bigger star, they definitely did that to her.
Yeah, 100%. And she signed it with a smile.
And the fact also that, and I'm just going to play it after this, but we're about halfway through. She hasn't mentioned the big tech, the problem that Steven Crowder actually had with it, that he's been very thorough on. That's the issue. That's his sticking point.
Mm-hmm.
She's completely ignoring it. So something tells me that either she's defending it because she signed the same contract or for less money, or she's actually like she could be playing the game, or she's in favor of it. She's fine with it. She's cool with it.
Yeah.
She doesn't see a problem with the big tech
because
the big tech clause, let's call it that.
She'll never get canceled though. Like she doesn't run, and that's what makes him different from. We're more relatable because we're subject to cancellations all the time. You know what I mean? And that's just by the system. That's not by the people. He gets canceled by the people and the system, and he still manages to come back. So I just don't think that is something. And again, not a dick riding thing. It's just something that she can't pull off.
Right. Well, fact is too is that.
Or anybody in the Dailywire, for that matter.
Steven was gonna bring something to the Dailywire that it's totally missing, and that's called personality and character. Where not one show on the Dailywire is doing parody songs. They're not doing skits, remakes of movies, like the little remakes of movies he does, like the comedy skits he does. They're not doing any of that, and they don't realize that that's what brings him in.
Yeah,
that's what brings the people in. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Here, I think Jeremy said this all went down in September of last year, and then Jeremy went back and said that there was no way that they could afford that. Months passed, and I don't know. Steven Crowder, New Year, New Me, popped up in January and was like, "Actually, it's New Year, it's New Me, and F you, Dailywire. I'm not okay with the fact that you even offered me this contract in the first place." By the way, it was a term sheet, not a contract. Okay. So Steven Crowder is relying on the ignorance of people who don't know how business work, okay, who don't understand that this is how it works. They put an initial offer on the table.
Again, because she's about to explain how contracts work, and it's like
she called it a different name, but essentially, lady, it's a contract. It's a precursor.
Yeah, whatever it is. But this is the thing. This is the elitism that they have, that the Dailywire is coming from, that they don't even realize. They're so fucking blind to realizing that what they're doing. They're acting as if regular people don't understand how contracts work. Like, we don't understand, like, not even contracts. Like, we get it. Contracts are complicated sometimes. But I get the idea that two people sit down, they negotiate their terms, and then they sign their contract. Why are you explaining that over and over like we're fucking retards?
Because you got to take the focus off of what it really is.
Right. And then the ignorance of his fans that don't know how contracts work. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're actually explaining the contract more than she is.
And she's about to shit on her own fans, the ones that left.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Way to get them back, right?
And then what happens is you go get your lawyers and they go over every single line, okay? So my contract with the Dailywire took us 5 months to negotiate. Lawyers going over every single line. They got me a term sheet. I said, no way to this. Here's what I'm saying. They say, no way to this. And then I say, no. And you go back and forth. And this is just business negotiations. It's nothing personal, okay? And of course, if I did not believe in something that I was signing or I thought it was disadvantageous, we talk it out. And they explain their logic.
Okay, we know how contracts work. Fucking patronizing goddamn statements she's making.
I think that honestly, he was acting a bit like a child actor. And I think it's incredibly immature to not give people all of the information up front, right? To refuse to name specific names and to therefore sling mud onto every single person. And it's egocentric, right? It's going, this was my experience and therefore it must be everybody else's experience. And so I'm going to be the hero by saying that everyone's under duress and you can come to me so I can start my own company. At the end of the day, I think what happened, this is completely my opinion, by the way, so I'm not blinking twice, I'm not under duress, is that Steven Crowder became a free agent and he's feeling a little vulnerable right now, right? He's used to working for other organizations. He has some guaranteed pay. And he thought that Dailywire were actually going to meet him at $120 million. They didn't, they declined. And he's still feeling a little shaky on that. It's scary to go out on your own. I thought about it. I thought about going out on my own. It's a lot of work. Maybe down the line I will. But it's a scary thing to go out, to step out on your own and say, I'm going to do this thing completely by myself. As Jeremy pointed out, Steven's not done that before, right? And so to do this, he pulled a move in which he was going to try to take a bunch of people that were subscribed to the Daily Wire and start his own company. So essentially saying, I'm the hero, I'm the martyr, follow me because I'm not like those guys. And then he was going to start his own shop. And that's what he's trying to do. And some people fell for it and said, I'm with you to the end, I'm Mug Club till I die. And didn't understand that really nothing happened here other than nobody wanted to pay Steven Crowder $120 million.
Nothing happened, huh? Nothing at all. She said all that hogwash and nothing happened.
Just to completely negate the actual issue. What kind of leftist bullshit is this?
Hey, it's the Daily Liar.
Holy fuck balls. Then if she wants to be honest, then the next thing she would say is, all right, let's now get onto this big tech thing. The big tech issue of the contract.
Right.
So let's see if she does that. Because apparently to her, it's all about the money.
To his viewers who he thinks are stupid enough at least not to understand how business negotiations work, right? Like this is like normal, you kick it back and forth, and they were gonna make up for his loss. So people that are upset by his video, the millions of people who watched it, are now going to give him $1, whatever it costs to be in the Mug Club, and they're gonna become the $120 million that he feels that he deserves. First of all, I'm just gonna say this, unrelatable. People are trying to pay for
it's very relatable.
Well, hold on.
We all get fucked over by contract. The whole point. Sorry, can I just say this?
Yeah.
The whole thing is that Steven Crowder was also standing up for the smaller content creators. Like he showed the proof of it. Look, we could get into the whole thing of should he have recorded the contract, recorded the phone call and released it. We could say yes, no, whatever.
It depends on the state he's in. What's the legality? In some states, you got to notify somebody that they're being recorded.
That's what I'm saying.
Some states you don't.
To me, like that's a whole separate conversation. The point is like I can't unhear what the fuck I heard though. Like we're not in court. I'm not in a jury. Like I could still use that and go like, well, Jeremy Boring though did still say this in private.
That's slavery.
We don't just ignore it because it's.
Woo. That's scathing.
I mean, but yeah, it's absolutely relatable. That's what she doesn't get is like contracts. Like, what was the whole Kanye thing about?
Contracts. Yeah.
Slave contracts.
Yeah. 360s.
Right. So it was relatable then.
all I'm saying is she tried to turn it and make it seem like, even let's say he did all that shit. She tried to make it seem like if he got the 120 million that way, that was a bad business move. If he legitimately got it from taking subscribers from their channel, then that's good on him. You know what I mean? Like, savvy.
Something tells me that I do think Steven did set Jeremy Boring up though, but I think it was because he realized Jeremy Boring wasn't going to budge on this YouTube thing, on this copyright, not copyright. I keep saying copyright. Content bans and all that stuff.
Do some of your principles outweigh your others?
You talking me specifically?
Yeah, just in general. Like, could you think of a principle that you would sacrifice to hold another principle?
That's interesting. That's an interesting question.
Because yeah, we got to talk about the recording thing. It is sort of a scummy move. If he didn't tell Jeremy about it, if Jeremy knew, then that's between them. You know what I mean? But if that's something that he did on the background just to cover his ass, but put it out anyway, it's a scummy move.
What?
But putting it out because he's exposing that they have similar clauses in their contracts that'll hurt you if YouTube hurts you, and YouTube hurts you all the time. I can see why he would do it. So that's why I'm thinking that principle of his outweighs the principle of recording and releasing it.
Well, what I'm saying is, from my standpoint, like, him record, I didn't do that. I just listened to the phone call. I didn't know the circumstances behind the phone call. So my point is, though, I can't say, like, I can't go, oh, well, he recorded the phone call illegally, so that makes the what Jeremy Boring said null and void. Now because the phone call is illegal, I have to go, I can't believe that now. No, it happened.
I have to disregard.
It's just as equivalent as an active shooter in the mall, and you have your gun on them and shoot them, and you're not supposed to have a gun in the mall.
Yeah, obviously a little different, but I know what you mean. It's almost like
good job, but you weren't supposed to do that.
It's like somebody's a child molester, and you spy on him to get some evidence. You get what I mean?
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Something like that.
Yeah, you do something illegal to get evidence on him. Because it's illegal to spy on somebody.
But here's the other thing. Let's take it from this standpoint. They were sitting down to have a conversation about contracts and business and contract negotiations. So to record that conversation, it's a little different than me and Wonder talking about his family and I record it and then play it on the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's a business conversation. So I'm not saying you assume it's being recorded, but there's a different level of, like, why are you recording this? It's not like, all right, let's say the full conversation comes out, right? They release the full phone call, and Steven starts it as hey, Jeremy, just wanted to catch up with you. How's your family? And then he lowers him into the Then I'll go, all right, it's shady as fuck. But it still doesn't change what Jeremy said.
Still doesn't change what he said. Correct.
Or unless it starts out like, hey, Jeremy, let's have a conversation, like, of stuff that we would never actually say. And then Jeremy goes, all right, let's do it. And then he clips out. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's it. But I don't see context like that being added to where it takes away from what he said.
She still hasn't gotten to it, by the way.
Bacon and eggs right now at the grocery store, trying to buy a steak once a week, and you're over here crying because somebody couldn't meet you at $120 million. And it is crying. I don't like it. It was a total bitch move. Ooh. There are plenty of things that happen across all organizations in the conservative movement where I will say that I empathize with Steven Crowder and saying that sometimes you feel like a cynic, which is like, is everybody selling out? Are people doing this, people doing that? There are a lot of things that Dailywire has done that I disagree with. There's a lot of things that Turning Point has done that I disagree with. There are things perhaps that PragerU has done that I disagree with. I have worked with all of these companies, right? But to do a total bitch move and go out to the public rather than trying to resolve...
Twice. No, Dailywire didn't beep it,
so it's coming.
Business.
It's coming from Dailywire. That wasn't Candace. That's straight from Ben.
They didn't beep dick or bitch. You know they're not playing.
Make sure you call him a bitch.
And you know what's funny? As much as like I'm laughing at this because in my mind I think like to Dailywire they all sat around and said, yeah, that's gonna be scathing. Call him a dick. We won't even beep it. We won't beep it. We'll let it fly this time.
Definitely.
These things and these slight differences behind the scenes.
It's like when the nerd finally gets the courage to talk some shit and he just doesn't know how to do it.
That's terrible.
Make it seem like you're the hero and you're the true one and you keep it authentic when something really nothing happened other than you didn't like an initial term sheet and all you had to do was tell them that and tell them what you didn't like and go back and forth with lawyers like everybody else. I think it's crappy.
Doesn't she get that the fact that he has to tell them to not kowtow to big tech and the left wing based on everything they fucking talk about on their platform every day, that he has to tell them, let's not kowtow to the left wing. You think that'd be a good idea?
Maybe she doesn't see it like that. I think it's because they're so clean. They look at it like you should just become clean like us.
Right.
And that's not how it works.
Which then at the end of the day, you have to go, then are they truly free speech advocates?
Absolutely not. You can't be.
You got to defend the unpopular speech. You got to defend the debaucherous speech too.
You got to defend the things you don't like for you to enjoy the same freedoms.
Right.
I think Steven is a little egocentric. He probably will do better on his own. I don't think he knows how to plan a team. And by the way, the last thing I'm going to say, because I'm going on Tim Pool tonight, so I'm going to say it anyways later, is that I'm pretty sure, wasn't it Steven Crowder who also screwed over somebody he used to work with? Was it not Gay Jared? Because he had him tied up in a contract. Wasn't that Steven Crowder who did that? So is he supposed to be the moral high bar? Or are we not supposed to call him out for that? Here's the thing. Steven, why don't you release not Gay Jared from his NDA and allow him to talk about how he felt he was treated by you? Because I know that at the Blaze, everyone says that you're actually not that nice. You treat people poorly, but you bring in so much revenue that everybody just has to take it. So I don't like it. It stinks to high heaven. And I'm calling you out on that because I think it was crappy that you threw mud on me. Did it the first time via a tweet a long time ago. You're not doing it a second time. Total bitch move.
I'm going to throw mud on you this entire response because I've been waiting. I've been chopping at the bit for the moment to throw mud back at you. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. The same thing when she turned on Trump. It was the same thing. Like she had this problem with Trump all this time and she just waited for the right time to say it.
It was pent up.
Yeah. I guess we're doing
the Timcast.
Let's just fly through the Timcast thing real quick because she got way more salacious on there.
She got passionate.
I'll just play a little clip of it and then we'll...
It should be telling that she can't get passionate on her own thing with Dailywire.
Yeah.
You can't exhibit that sort of passion. You must be controlled, contrived, eloquent.
Oh, well, before we get there, let's just show this.
Ben, we got you.
Benny boy.
We got you, brother.
What was the channel that actually put this out? Mark Dice, I believe his name is.
Shout out to Mark Dice.
Yeah, shout out to him. This was Ben Shapiro being caught on live after his show requesting some things be done. That's all I'll say.
We are indeed done here today. I have an appointment I got to get to. Thank you, guys. It's great to see you, and I will see you here next time. One thing on that episode, I already said pansexual. Pansexualism is weird. Can we just cut that?
I can ask.
That'd be great.
Before it's reposted?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could,
It's like a 10-second bit. It's about halfway through. It's just I'm pansexual. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, you like everything? Like,
Yeah,
no, just like.
You want to get rid of that?
Yeah, it's just like, it's nothing, but
So
don't
when
make it
you-
something.
It's not nothing when you're trying to get rid of it, dickhead.
Right.
What the
Every
fuck?
single thing.
Wait, when
no
you finish-
taste at all.
Yeah.
It is a funny bit, but that's why I'll get boycotted.
Boy.
Then
That's why I'll get boycotted.
so it's not about free. It can't be about free speech. At least with him. Does he own the company? I'm confused.
No. What it is that it's again these people who are not real rebels and not real revolutionaries pretending to be revolutionaries and rebels. That's their problem.
They're fake Vikings.
Scared
they know
of the
that-
cancel culture.
Right. And then when they're going into these things of like, oh, well, he's doing this because he wants to sell his mug club. He's doing this because it's like you're doing a fake thing. At least he's a real motherfucker that goes out in the streets and fucks with people.
They act like they don't do things for money, yet the company's worth how many millions of dollars?
Right.
Yeah.
But then that also shows me, though, that Ben doesn't have, I guess, like, full control either, though, because he had to ask. You'd think Ben would go, look, just cut that out. Cut that out. He had to go, like...
You think we could get that out?
And the girl goes, well, we can ask. And then somebody had to come in and talk to him about it.
You're right. You're right. Huh. Interesting. But you know, if he asks, they're gonna be like, yeah, we'll take it out, Ben. Whatever.
So acquiesce.
Yeah.
To Ben Shapiro.
Whatever you want, big guy. Just keep it rolling in. Keep it clean.
All right. Oh, wait. Before we start the actual video, I gotta show.
Nah,
Tim.
you gonna expose Tim like that, bro?
Look, I like Tim Pool, but
Nah. He gotta get clowned for that.
Tim Pool has the faggiest laugh in this video that I've ever seen.
I think I'm gonna make that a GIF.
Watch this. I think I want to make it a clip that we play.
Picked up like the pre-show. I was talking about making a video game and like open source rules or something.
Oh, I hope people heard it.
It's like hot mic. Tim's talking about making a game.
I was talking about my hair sticking up.
Talk about your hair sticking up. Yeah, I think that's what
That's
popped up.
embarrassing.
Is
Oh,
it?
gosh. It's like, on the hot mic.
So Steve,
Was that gay? Wait.
You gonna run?
talk about your hair
He clutched his pearls while he laughed.
sticking up. Yeah, I think that's what
That's
popped
embarrassing.
Is
Oh,
it?
gosh. It's like, on the hot mic.
It was the whole shoulder roll. Like, why did your shoulders move like that when you laughed? That was weird.
I'm just being rude.
You're nitpicking.
Candace would think I was a dick.
I said this to you off mic. I think it was just because there was a female in the room, so he absorbed some of that feminine energy in that moment.
Yeah. That's why you never give a woman a show by herself.
Oh shit! They're gonna say you hate women, Chris.
No, I'm doing that for their protection.
Fair enough.
Protect them from themselves.
Steven's not here to defend himself, but Candace is here. Thoughts on
The situation impacted me and it impacted all of the other hosts on the Daily Wire. So first and foremost, I feel like I just want to say this, which is that I have never once, I've been with Daily Wire 2 to 3 years now, you have never once heard me come out to defend the Daily Wire on anything. This is not the first time the Daily Wire has been in a firestorm or had some beef that has gone on, whether it's for Ben or Matt or Michael, that's gone on the last 3 years. I tend to stay very much in my lane. As I mentioned before, I'm not an employee of Daily Wire. I'm not required to come out and defend them. And I'm usually just not interested in these beefs that seem to be so fickle. They last for a day and then they go away. And it's probably the reason why, for whatever, doesn't really matter what anybody thinks about me.
I'm sorry.
I have a good
quick.
relationship with pretty
So
much everybody. Like there's
Let me run it back real quick.
I just wanted to ask. She doesn't work for Daily Wire.
No, she does.
She just said she doesn't.
Yeah,
She has a contract with them.
She just said
She just said she doesn't. That's why I wanted to pause. Run it back a little bit.
No, I know, but
Okay.
she's lying.
I was just,
She's trying to like sweet talk the fucking thing. Like we all have power over here.
I don't work for them. You know, it's a partnership. We're partners.
Right. But I guarantee you, in perpetuity is in her contract.
Oh,
too.
100%.
Absolutely.
That word's in all of their contracts.
so fickle. They last for a day and then they go away. And it's probably the reason why, for whatever, doesn't really matter what anybody thinks about me, I have a good relationship with pretty much everybody. Like there's no one that I can't be invited and be in the same room with. Everybody sort of hates each other, but Alex Jones has a good opinion of me. Everyone from Alex Jones to Ben Shapiro to Paul Joseph Watson, Mike Cernovich is somebody that
Except
I
for
call.
Trump.
Except for Trump. Ben Shapiro 3 weeks ago. The Daily Wire to a degree. And then that all just kind of quieted down really quickly, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder why.
And ask for advice from time to time. Jack Posobiec, like
All right.
in this nonsense from time to time that appears and then goes away and ebbs and flows. This situation, though, was different because basically Steven Crowder decided to launch a war and didn't really care who got hit, with the shrapnel, right? He comes out, he makes this glorious video, which it's shocking to me that people cannot see the amount of acting that is going into this. We all understand he was a childhood actor. I loved that show, Arthur. He was the brain. Like he is an actor. At the end of the day, he's an actor. It's also why he's so entertaining.
Oh, wait, you just found that out, huh?
Yeah, I did. I had no idea.
Yeah. Steven Crowder's the voice of the brain on Arthur. Fun fact.
When it comes to politics, he's a talented person, but that people cannot discern the amount of acting that has gone on in this is stunning to me. I don't know where people's discernment, what's gone on with discernment, where you can't just spiritually discern that this feels a little weird, right? You're recording conversations with someone that you have told us you are friends with forever. Oh, and by the way, at the end of you saying that you're just trying to do the right thing, you're also saying, I'm going to launch my own thing, right? So just when I first saw the first video that he dropped, obviously I'm not privy to negotiations that happened at the Daily Wire. I had no idea they were negotiating with Steven Crowder. Again, not my business. I came into work one day, suddenly Brett Cooper was there. Not my business. I don't know who they're hiring. I don't own the company, right? But what I started getting was after I had dropped my podcast, in the comment section, everyone was basically tearing me apart, being like, blink twice if you need help, for saying like I'm a hostage situation, or saying, what if you don't say anything about Steven Crowder, you're a fraud, just like suddenly you're a fraud. So I go and I watch this video, and just like everybody else watching it live, his first video, your instincts are like, whoa, he's...
I want to hear about the second video.
And then we talked about this last night. I said
I just hear a lot of talk, but nothing about the actual issue that Steven Crowder's raising. Look, they're trying to also portray that Crowder like planned this whole thing, and to a degree, I think definitely Crowder does strategically move. Like, I think that's the smart thing to do. What they're trying to do is they're going, oh well, he registered the whole stopbigcon .com domain in October or something like that. No. It was December. It was the middle of December.
Of 2022?
Of 2022.
That makes sense. His contract negotiations fell through.
Not only that, but also, let's say, because they originally tried to say that he did that in October, but it turned out it was December. Even if it was October, Steven Crowder's been going through the whole thing with the Blaze for a long time, so it would make sense that he would even make that domain for the Blaze, because he was going through an issue with them with their contracts. So I'm sure he had this whole stop big con thing going on for a while, like
Probably
in his
that,
mind, not publicly though.
Right.
And then it's like, let's just add Dailywire to it. They're just as bad, just as culpable.
Bottom line is that it's all about the money for these people. Nobody actually cares about the point of the rule is, look, if I sign this contract, that means if you, for whatever reason, if I lose my YouTube for 90 days and I don't get it back after those 90 days, that's important too. Then I lose I lose 50% off top. I think it was 25 or 50%, 25 to 50%, something like that.
Can I add something? I just caught something too. That then, because the idea would be they put in there like if they couldn't resolve the issue, right? Wouldn't the contract incentivize the country to not resolve the issue because they would actually make more money? Possibly make more money if they went over to Plus? No. If Steven Crowder did get a ban or did get a strike, right? The Daily Wire would then be like obligated to sort of fight the appeal and all that stuff for him. Right. But wouldn't they be more like incentivized to not do it because then they get 25% of his money? Yes. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, they why fight it? Because now I'm just going to get 25%. At some point, they could do that. Because at some point, they can go, well, we need to get that revenue back. It's worth more than this. But if that revenue is worth less than the 25%, then why wouldn't you just go, all right, fuck the appeal. Let's just keep his money. Right. There's no protection there for the artist or the content creator. For the content creator, no protection. I get the company needs some protection, but there has to be some for the person who's providing the content. Exactly. At least, there has to be. At least put some lube on it, is what I'm saying. You get what I mean? God damn. Put some lube on the motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Well, I guess we can just end it there. That's enough Candace. I'm getting a fucking headache. Yeah, definitely. That was a lot of